Hi, so I wanted to share this game with you for two main reasons. The first is that I'm playing against Sussuarana, who is definitely one of the strongest players in the app. Very solid, very aggressive, he doesn't really make clear mistakes. And the other reason is that this is a Tiger and Dragon game. Now, the Tiger is a very powerful card, as we all know, because it allows us to look two spaces ahead. But both the Tiger and the Dragon are not very versatile. This means that they're not cards that help you building a solid defensive structure, and as such, games that have Tiger plus Dragon are usually very hard to navigate because they have to be played extremely aggressive. In this game in particular, your remaining cards, the horse, the rabbit, the monkey, they're also not very good at building a defensive structure because they have no sideways structural glue. So I know that if I want to beat Sussuarana in this game, especially having the Tiger in my initial hand, I'll have to play aggressive and try to catch him off guard as soon as I can. Now, these first few movements are quite standard opening theory. Nothing special is going on. Both Sussuarana and I are developing our pawns, but I'm already trying to find an opportunity to start my attack as soon as possible. Now, looking at this position from a candidate moves type of perspective, I see three main candidate moves. The first one, and the most natural maybe, is to continue development of my last pawn with the rabbit, which would place the pawn on the edge of the board and doesn't do much for me. The other two candidate moves, however, would be to use the tiger already and either take the leftmost or the bottommost pawn or take the center pawn. Now, in Tiger and Dragon games, I don't like to be caught with Tiger for too long, because as long as the opponent keeps cycling the Dragon, I will have every 2 or 3 moves, I will have to play a turn where both of my cards are the Tiger and the Dragon. This puts me usually in a very tight position. So here in this position, I'm happy to give away the Tiger and try to cause some damage already. The easiest way to do damage here is to take the center pawn, because that will force Sussuarana to take with the horse, and that will already put his master a little bit more exposed, so that I might have the chance to chase it in the near future. Here I choose to relocate my pawn to the center in the hope of soon launching an attack on Sussuarana's exposed master, and at this point is when Sussuarana makes a mistake. His master is very exposed and he should retreat it as soon as possible, but instead he opted to develop a pawn. As you will see, this will lead to trouble very soon. By advancing my pawn, I can get a clear strike on Sussuarana's master, while at the same time attacking his leftmost or bottommost pawn and his rightmost or topmost pawn. This will inevitably lead to the loss of material, because his bottommost pawn will be unprotected. Here Sussuarana launches an attack on my rightmost pawn, which I can ignore because I am material ahead, and if that pawn takes my pawn, which is still on its original spot, that pawn will be passed, so it will sort of be out of the game. So instead of defending that pawn or reacting to Sussuarana's attack, I prefer to regroup my pieces to launch a stronger attack on his master instead. And indeed, here it is. Sussuarana takes my pawn, and I immediately use that opportunity to advance my master, making his pawn be passed, be out of the game, and starting to put more and more pressure on Sussuarana's master, this time with my own master, which is a major threat because with Tiger it's very easy to reach the vicinity of his shrine. At this point it's already a bit too late for Sussuarana. He chooses to capture my pawn with his own pawn, trying to relocate his pawn back in the game, but now I have an open window to jump onto his master with check. So that will force his master to move, and it places my master very, very close to the shrine, so this will be mate in 2. Note how this type of attack was only possible because of the lack of lateral structural glue in the cards that we were dealt. because there's almost no lateral control in these cards. Once my master reaches the vicinity of his shrine, it's impossible to dislodge him. All I have to do is a passing move, and his shrine is within striking distance. That's game. I hope you enjoyed this analysis, so please let me know in the comments if there was anything I forgot to mention, or if you have any questions that you think I haven't addressed properly. Thank you for watching.